Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So I wanted to talk about something here that I've been meaning to get to over the last couple of days, and that is about Codron. And I want to talk about whether or not he's going to be a super walker, because I do think the super walker aspect to this is likely going to play a role here. I mean, I know, like, obviously you could have a bunch of super walkers running at them, this and that, and that's going to be really cool. Definitely still an upgrade over season 1, but I think where they should go in this season is turning someone that we know into a super walker. Having a scene where Codron is like, I don't know, maybe he's in this situation and he's telling Daryl to leave, like leave, and then, maybe he ends up getting shot with like a serum or something like that, and then, he starts to turn into the super walker. Like, I think that would be so cool. And as soon as that happens and he knows what that is, because he knows what's about to happen, and so he's not about to die. I mean, he's technically about to die, but then he becomes this super walker, and you're just like, what? It could be honestly a really intense scene and like a really like very iconic moment for The Walking Dead, because I've always wanted to see something like that. It's always cool when you see characters that turn to walkers, but in situations like that, it's usually for the most part more sad, right? It's never exciting and like, whoa, like what is that, right? So yeah, I want to talk about that. So before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. And I've been working on my older reviews for the previous episodes of The Walking Dead, and honestly just for fun, just to sort of have reviews out there. But I noticed some people aren't fans of it because they think that I'm just doing older episodes just because there's nothing else to talk about right now, when that's really far from the truth. I just really want to go back and rewatch older episodes and do a breakdown of them individually, because everybody does them season by season, but doing them individually just to remember every specific moment and talk about all these little things in each episode, I think that's kind of why I want to do it. And it's better to do it right now before everything starts to pick up, because the second it picks up and The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon's here, like, I have no time to do it. And that's the thing, last year I had no time to do it. I've been trying to do this Walking Dead rewatch for a very long time, but yeah, just let me know, if people are fans of it and whatnot and like that I'm doing that I definitely will continue to do that. But yeah, I'd like to know your thoughts on those videos so far. But yeah, definitely make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. So I do want to talk about a couple of things regarding The Walking Dead, but I'll do that at the end of this video here. First, what I really want to get into, which is sort of the main point here of the video, is Codron turning into a super walker. Now, do we have any proof of this whatsoever? No, it's just a theory. But I really when you look at that trailer, or the recent teaser trailer that was dropped, like, what was that? It was a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago. It really does seem like Codron is going to be turned into a super walker. I feel like that's exactly where they're going here with the story, because if you just look at all the footage in the trailer, first of all, he is in trouble. Obviously he's been working with Daryl Dixon, or he let him go. A lot of things like that. Like, Madame Janae is not too happy with him, right? And so he's going to be put through some stuff here. You see some shots in the trailer where he's literally shooting at, I think those are Madame Janae's forces. So at this point here, he's really against Madame Janae. And so I just feel like, that moment there is going to be a very big moment for Codron. And I think it's going to build up, to the ending where we do see him become a super walker, because the show has explored turning people into super walkers, but not people we know. That could be some of the tragedy of season 2. Like, imagine Isabel becoming a super walker, right? Like, I could just see that being absolutely insane. Like, Isabel is like this really incredible character and everything, but just imagine her becoming a super walker and just being very aggressive and then running at Daryl. Like, that's just terrifying, right? So that's what I mean. Like, the idea of doing this with some of the characters that we have, it's just, you have to do that. I hope that they have done that, because I don't know how much super walkers are going to be a thing in season 3. I have heard some things about season 3 though, in terms of a villain that is also really, really exciting as well. So don't be that, upset if the super walker storyline ends with season 2. I don't think it's going to necessarily, but even if it does, it seems like they're doing something really exciting for season 3. But I just think this scene could be, honestly, truly one of the best scenes that we've ever gotten, really ever, on The Walking Dead. Like, I would say the reveal that we got of Daryl seeing the super walker at the end of episode 5, but like, the way that scene played out, it was really cool. But that's the thing, a lot of these moments can be really amazing moments if they're not cut, because now you gotta wait until the next episode to like watch how it happens, right? Because you do lose a lot of that momentum, and it just seems like they do that a lot. Like episode 5, it was amazing. You're building up to this whole reveal, and a lot of that was very cool. But the second the super walker started to run at Daryl, they cut it right there. And it's like, now you gotta wait till the next episode, right? Where I didn't think you need to really do that. Like, you could have just had like a fight scene play out there or something, right? But then you have to watch the very last episode, which begins with that, and then the fight's never going to be that long. It's going to end right away. And I think that's, in terms of some of the pacing and all that, I guess it makes sense. Like, some of it does make some sense, but I think you could overall make the writing a lot better there, because I think you could have had those moments just sort of all together where it just makes it really like, wow, I don't want it to be a thing where if Codron's turning to a super walker and it's becoming like this big animated thing, and then all of a sudden he looks at Daryl and he's just different now and he starts running at Daryl, and then that's where the episode ends. Then you gotta wait for episode 6 to watch the just how all that plays out. Like, that stuff there, it's just frustrating, right? Like, it's cool, obviously, and it's exciting, but it's one of those things where you're like, Codron turning into a super walker is just, I feel like, a bigger moment for an episode that they should explore a lot more and not just like cut off like that, because when the fight happens in the beginning of the next episode, it's probably going to end really quick, right? So I hope that if it does happen, it's not like that. But again, I still think turning a character that we know into a super walker is perfect, even if it's like Isabel or anyone else, right? It would just be absolutely incredible. And so this scene here where he's being interrogated by Madame Genet, I don't think it's this scene. I think that in this scene specifically, he's being interrogated for other things, for allowing Daryl to go, a bunch of other stuff. Obviously, like, she's questioning him on a bunch of other things. There could be other things related to the story overall. This might not be an episode 1 or 2 thing. This could be from episode 4 or 5. And the reason I think that is because he has his eye, like, he doesn't have an eye patch, and it looks like later on he does lose his eye, or maybe it's just very wounded, I don't know, but he does have an eye patch on. And I just think that, it makes sense. That's probably going to be where the story is going overall, is he's rebelling against Madame Genet and he's trying his best, but obviously I think his fate, it could end where he does save Daryl and saves a bunch of people, but I still think turning to the super walker is just going to make the scene absolutely insane. And so that's how I see it playing out. Honestly, I think that there's going to be this big attack on the nest. Codron's going to be helping them the entire time. And then all of a sudden, he sees that he's been shot with the serum, and he just looks at his arm, and then he looks at Daryl and he just tells him to run because he knows what's about to happen. And then he starts to like mutate and everything and turn into the super walker, and then just starts running after Daryl. And now he's just gone, right? Like, if that actually happened, that would be one of the most insane scenes ever. And Daryl running from Codron, having a whole fight sequence there where Codron's just after him, like, that would be absolutely insane. I can't even imagine what that would be like. And so, I'm definitely very excited for season 2, and I am going to make a bigger focus here for season 2. I noticed that a lot of the complaints from people about me doing older episodes of The Walking Dead are similar to the complaints of people, I guess, seeing the promotion for season 3. Like, I guess you want me to do more videos on Daryl Dixon season 2 specifically, more videos like this, just talking about the characters, different theories, different ideas and whatnot, giving different predictions and all of that, instead of covering old seasons of The Walking Dead. And I guess I do understand that, to some extent. I think The Walking Dead, I maybe should have focused on more in the summertime when there was really nothing else to talk about. And then now that we're only like 3 weeks away, maybe don't focus on that and just put out a lot of Daryl Dixon content. So I could definitely do that. I still might finish the next couple of episodes that I do have, though, because I do kind of want to finish this arc that I'm doing. I have to review episode 3, so maybe I'll do episode 3, 4, and 5, and then I'll end it there. And then I'll just sort of take a break for a bit. Focus a lot on The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon season 2. Because there's a lot to talk about there. And there's also a couple of other little things here that I wanted to mention because, I'm not going to do another video on it. It kind of makes no sense. But first of all, Fear the Walking Dead's Blu-ray is coming out October 15th. So, and it's a full entire series. I don't know who's going to really collect that, but there's probably going to be some people that do collect it. Honestly, I wouldn't mind collecting it just to sort of add to my collection, but I don't even have The Walking Dead full series on Blu-ray yet, or like anything. I literally have The Walking Dead season 9 on Blu-ray, and I think that's about it. I might have an earlier season, but that's all I have so far. I definitely would do an unboxing of the Once Who Lives Blu-ray and like all of that, but I just gotta wait for all of that there. But unless AMC wants to send me a copy, and I'll do a breakdown and review of it. And I've seen a lot of complaints. I've seen some people complaining about me talking about older seasons of The Walking Dead instead of Daryl Dixon season 2. People are complaining about The Walking Dead or AMC doing a lot of promotion for season 3 of Daryl Dixon instead of season 2, the season airing in like 3 weeks from now. I do think a lot of the promotion was more to celebrate the fact that they are filming. I think it was really badly timed, though. I think that, like, honestly, if they just started filming in like a month from now, like a week or two into October, people aren't going to really notice that much, right? Like, I think that they probably could have pushed it off a little bit more because, I mean, you have to somewhat keep spoilers away. But as soon as you started filming, there was all these set photos, this and that, and everyone's talking about this and whatever. There's all this talk for season 3. You're announcing casting information. Like, there's all this stuff that usually comes out for season 2. Like, I feel like for season 2, we should be getting a lot of casting information for that season, but nothing so far, right? And so I just think I do get it. I honestly do get it. I do forgive AMC on one aspect to it because they are filming and it takes a long time to put these shows out now. So you want them to start filming early, right? Otherwise, we're waiting longer for these shows. So I also understand that aspect to it. It is what it is. You just kind of have to stay away from it. And yeah, but I do see them promoting Daryl Dixon season 2. Like, the main account seems to focus more on season 2 of Daryl Dixon. It's just that, yeah, I think we just need new footage and stuff like that for season 2. Like, we got to start building up season 2 here. We're 3 weeks away. This is the perfect time to start to do that, like, slow build to the premiere, right? Like, this next week, show some more stuff off. The week after, early reviews come out, all this stuff comes out, release a final trailer and all of that. The week after, just go crazy with promotion, fan Q&As, just builds up right to Sunday, and then we watch the first episode. I think it's just perfect. So, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see what they do here. But yeah, so I'll leave it here. I do have so many ideas here that I want to get through, but I'm also just like, I saw some people saying because I was covering older seasons of The Walking Dead, they were like, oh wow, he ran out of ideas. I'm like, no. I have not run out of ideas. I have so much here. There's like 3 or 4 pages here of ideas that I can specifically do. It's just sometimes you want to time it for certain times. And one thing I've been thinking about more recently is getting into this idea here that I've been really not wanting to talk about. And that's the whole idea of Fear the Walking Dead season 6 having ghostwriters. And so if you've made it this far in the video, maybe comment something about this. This way I know that you've made it this far in the video, because I know this is at the very end of the video. But the reason why I don't know if I want to do a video on this is because I don't know if it's true at all. I just want to see if I can find any evidence at that, because it is really weird when you look at all of the seasons that, the showrunners had, like for season 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. The one good season is season 6, and it was not just like good, it was like actually amazing. There was a noticeable difference from season 6 to season 5, and then it dropped off so much in season 7. So like, it just, that question starts to come up, like, were there ghostwriters for season 6? I'm not saying it. That's what everyone else is saying. And so I have that as a topic to like discuss. Like, is it even true? Because I don't think it's true. I personally don't think they would actually do that. But yeah, I don't know. I'd have to try and find some proof of that even existing. But I don't think it's true at all. I think that sometimes you just, you could write a good season, right? And that's probably what the writers did then. They just actually wrote a good season then. But yeah, there's a lot of topics here that I want to get into eventually. I just got to sort of map out everything here, and that's why I'm doing some of the rewatch stuff, because I always want to get into that and I just never have the time, and so I'm trying to get through it right now before things start to get really crazy here. But yeah, anyways, post all your thoughts down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.